From beverages and cereals to condiments, fruits, vegetables, and even meats, fermenting has been practiced around the world in nearly every culture since antiquity to preserve food and improve its flavor, digestibility, and nutritional value. Lacto fermentation is the process by which microorganisms, in this case lactobacilli, and their enzymes break down and convert the starches and sugars in foods into lactic acid and other products. These lactobacilli or lactic acid bacteria are found everywhere, present on the surfaces of all living things, in our soil, in our gut, on our skin, and are especially numerous on plants. We love these bacteria, they help us survive. Our gut microbiome is made up of trillions of bacteria, fungi, and other microorganisms. Some are beneficial to us and some are not. The beneficial bacteria help us digest food, absorb nutrients, eliminate toxins, and they even go to battle for us, killing harmful bacteria. But when we eat a lot of processed foods, which contain artificial chemicals, colors, additives, refined oils, sugars, grains, we feed the bad bacteria. And when we take antibiotic drugs, we destroy the good with the bad. Bad food and frequent drug antibiotic use disrupt the balance of our gut microbiome, and we end up having more harmful bacteria than beneficial, which makes us more susceptible to pathogenic organisms. Our gut health is the foundation of our immunity. Poor gut health has been linked to so many imbalances. It leads to many diseases, from sleep issues and allergies, constipation, gastrointestinal issues, to autoimmune diseases, mood changes, thyroid function, cognitive function, arthritis, reproductive and heart problems, diabetes, systemic inflammation, and more. It can all be linked to a poor gut flora. Lacto fermented foods, however, they're probiotic. They stimulate the growth of beneficial bacteria and have high nutritional value. They contain many different essential vitamins, minerals, and enzymes. So incorporating lacto fermented foods into your diet has many health benefits. Let's run it down. Repairs your gut microbiome, reduces inflammation, lowers high blood pressure, lowers high cholesterol levels, improves cognitive function, alleviates constipation, improves immunity against pathogenic microorganisms, which means you'll get sick less often, inhibits the growth of intestinal parasites. You can make improvements from asthma, IBS, Crohn's, ulcerative colitis, allergies, skin conditions, autoimmune disorders, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, genital urinary tract infections, and even cancer. And it helps your body detoxify from a wide range of toxins and heavy metals. And in addition to all of the health benefits, making lacto fermented foods is simple. Like similar to herbal medicine, you will save lots of money when you know how to make it yourself. And once you do that prep work, time does the rest of the work. So some fresh foods that you can ferment include cabbage, kimchi, beets, turnips, cucumber, onion, peppers, watermelon rinds, corn, carrots, garlic, Brussels sprouts, radishes, even our medicinal roots and rhizomes like ginger, horseradish, turmeric, burdock, and dandelion root. Once you get the basics down, you can add spices, make your own condiments, relishes, and chutneys. There's no limit to your creativity in the kitchen. And the way that it was recommended to me to incorporate lacto fermented foods into our diet is to have 1/4 of a cup to 1/3 of a cup of a variety of fermented foods per day. This small amount, it can include a little bit of yogurt, some kombucha. We like to keep things simple, so we add fermented vegetables into our daily salads. You don't want to do too much at once, especially if your diet right now is less than ideal. So go slow, be consistent, and over time, you'll notice improvements in your health. So let's get in the kitchen and let's start making our lacto fermented foods. The first step is that you need to create your 2% salt brine. I am using 2,000 milliliters of water, and that means that I'm going to need 40 grams of salt. So I have my little, it's actually a jewelry scale. It's really good for small measurements. I have a kitchen scale / jewelry scale, and I'm gonna measure out, weigh out my 40 grams of salt and then add it to this purified water. 2,000 is easier to calculate 2% of than like if you were gonna try a different measurement. It's very clean. And if you're making a lot at once, then you're gonna use all the brine. So I suggest batching it, make as many lacto fermented jars of food that you can. Now let's add the salt. It's a slightly warm water so that it dissolves easily. All right, so our salt is nearly dissolved, so I'm just gonna set this aside. And the first food item that I want to ferment is gobo root, burdock root. Oh yeah, I'm gonna use our handy dandy. You're gonna work with me so well today, unlike in our horseradish video. I'm gonna use our food processor to get the burdock into smaller pieces. From here, we transfer it into a sanitized jar, and then we'll add our salt brine. Call it a day. And then to keep the burdock fully submerged in the brine, I use a little cabbage leaf and stuff it on top. And that keeps it so that it doesn't get exposed to oxygen in the jar, but having some space in the jar, it might get fuzzy, like fizzy. There we go. Burdock, item number 1. Let's keep rolling. All right, up next, I'm gonna do 2 jars of string beans. One with peppercorns, and these are very special peppercorns because we got these from the island of Fogo in Cape Verde. And then I'm going to do another batch with the jalapeno. So one will be mine, the hotter, and the ones with the Cape Verde peppercorns, that'll be Tammy's. And I'm not gonna get fancy. I'm not cutting these. I'm putting them right into the jar. If you want to cut the tips off, you're free to do so. Oh, you're gonna fit. I'm gonna use a half a tablespoon, because that's what I have, of peppercorns for Tammy's jar. I'm gonna slice up my jalapeno for my jar. Add our salt. I left very little room for air because I know when I push down on the cap, it's gonna push the string beans in there. You might hear this fizz, it might spill over in your pantry. We put ours on a tray, and if it fizzes, you can open, well, unless it looks like it's gonna burst. With these ball jars, you can kind of tell they will start to like bubble. So it's 7 days and these will be ready. And you may hear some fizzing, it's okay. Doesn't need to be shaken, you just let it sit. String beans with jalapenos and string beans with Cape Verde peppercorns. Up next, we're gonna do a bunch of onion. Tammy and I love onion. This is the one that we run out of the fastest, so I'm gonna put enough onion to fill a half-a-gallon jar. My jar is full, and now I add my brine. My eyes are burning, but we are not gonna repeat what we experienced in the horseradish video. I have a little bit of extra brine that I had from last time, and if you have extra brine, this is what's great, you just refrigerate it. So I have brine to top it off from last week's batch. Here we go, red onion. Now, finally, we're gonna do some beets. And we're gonna mix this with beets, see how much space we have. Maybe cabbage, carrots, and some more burdock. Just basically what we had left over from last week and then from today that didn't fit in the small jars. So let's see how it goes. Now we're gonna layer. So I did a little bit of beets. Now I'm adding some burdock. Add some of the shredded carrots. Add some cabbage. A canning funnel would probably work out well. And then we have some rosemary from the garden. That's perfect. Yay, and here we have it. Beet, carrot, gobo or burdock, cabbage, and rosemary. So you see how easy that was? And now that you know the benefits of lacto fermenting, you see how easy it is. Please consider incorporating this into your diet. You can play, you can have fun, you can really get creative with what type of vegetables and herbs that you decide to incorporate. Reduces your inflammation, improves your cognitive function, improves your digestive system. There's really no excuse. And it's relatively inexpensive. This is way less expensive making it yourself than buying fermented foods from the grocery store every week. We hope you enjoy this video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and see you next time.